Good afternoon and good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 176. Or 77, sorry, I can count, I promise. And today is Wednesday, and it's Wednesdays with Skep. How are you today, Skep?
I'm doing fine, Blind Press. It's great to hear your voice. I understand that you've got kind of a personal rant for us today to start things off.
I do. I do. I I've been trying to help a friend out. This is somebody that I've met. I met online.
Is this
She
somebody in the blind
It
community?
is somebody in the blind community,
Okay.
actually. It's a group of. I'm part of a group of blind moms on the lovely cancerous platform that is WhatsApp. It's almost as bad as Facebook, but yeah. And so and there's a subgroup of like four or five of us that are helping or trying to help this one mom who's having some major crises.
What is the crisis that she's having?
She's dealing with some infidelity
Some
in
infidelity, meaning
in
that
her
her
marriage.
husband has cheated on her,
Yes.
and this is the first time he's cheated on her, or not?
No, it is not.
Okay, so he's multiple cheat, and she despises the guy and wants to leave him, or what?
She's in serious conflict, so we've been trying to help her. Because she goes between I want him to fuck away from me but I want to fix this. And we're trying to provide perspective for her and be a sounding board,
How big a
basically.
group of moms is this?
The original group of moms was about 10 women.
How,
But this group right now that I'm speaking of
yeah,
that is supporting her
yeah.
was only 5.
Okay,
So a very small
right. Probably
group
people
of.
who know each other pretty well.
Yeah, we've known each other for about 2 years now, and WhatsApp is primarily voice messaging.
Hmm.
So we hear like how like the tones in each other's voices. We've heard each other's kids talking.
Hmm.
Like so we've gotten to know each other as well as you can without meeting physically.
Sure.
Um so we've
Well,
had
let me ask you this also. How old is the woman in question?
I think she's either my age or slightly older. Probably I think she's just turned 30, 31. I think.
Okay, so she's
She's
in
not.
her late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And is that her husband's age also?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's feeling you slipping away, and he's going out
He
conquering
is
things.
also visually impaired. Not as bad as she is. She's totally blind. He is not. He has partial vision. She has no vision.
Oh, okay. And let me ask you this: what does he do for a living?
He's a tech guy. I think he works at a call center right now, troubleshooting tech problems.
Okay, interesting. But he's visually impaired.
Yeah.
He must not be so visually impaired he can't use a computer visually.
Well,
'Cause
there's
it's
actually you'd be
hard to do that
surprised.
with a screen reader.
It is, but you'd be surprised how many totally blind tech people there are.
Mm,
Because a lot of blind people get into tech to make tech better.
okay.
They get into tech to
Oh,
improve
sure,
it.
sure, sure. Okay, that makes sense.
They learn how the existing tech works, and
That's
then
it.
they go, okay, here's what works, here's what really doesn't.
Here's what I need. Here's
Yeah.
what would make my life better.
Yeah. So
And then
there's a
yeah.
bunch of there are a lot of blind programmers, for example,
Wow,
coders.
that surprises me.
Yeah, it surprised me too. I didn't know that, but when I tried to learn, I actually tried to teach myself how to write HTML and went fuck that.
What HTML is a terrible choice for you. You'd be better off with something like Visual Basic that has a an interface that is easily adaptable to something that can. I mean, when you
Yeah.
look at an object like in Visual Basic, I'm going to get techie just here real quick, just for a second. When you look at HTML, all you have is a flat piece of paper with writing on it, basically. Okay, it's top down programming, more or less, and has labels and makes calls to different labels. It's unstructured, and it is very, very, very visually oriented.
Mm.
Unbelievably visually oriented. It's almost the worst choice. Old time Fortran would be the only worst choice I can think of for you than HTML.
Yeah.
If you
I
picked up
was
something like
fine.
Visual Basic, if you picked up something like Visual Basic, just to finish my little rant, and I'll let you get back to your rant. If you picked up Visual Basic, you could go in, inspect objects, know the methods that are in there, know what the methods contain by easily interrogating that, and that would all be apparent to you, and you could, and it has an organization that is very easy for you to keep in your head as you go through that. You would be you could be very productive, and that I can believe people are going and learning to a lesser extent. Maybe some of the Visual C type stuff. I doubt that C++, but maybe some of the Visual C,
Yeah.
other Visual C products, or the visual front ends, the implementations like some of the C script stuff that's out there would be a good choice if you want to do that. If somebody wanted to do that kind of programming, but HTML, don't be turned off by that because that didn't work out. Because I mean, that's I tried cuneiform. Writing sucks. Well, no, cuneiform. So try English. It's wonderful. So anyway, all right, go back to story.
So my basic, like, she's now deleted her WhatsApp account. So
Oh,
and
really? So she's
and
out of contact with you?
well, she wants to keep individually in contact with us, but she's been told, and here's where it gets complicated. She's part of this very small house church group that believes in the Old Testament. So you can see where this is going.
This is not good. This is going no place
And her
good.
discipleship partner has said that this is a very good move for her to have deleted this account because she needs to stop sharing so much with these online women. Um,
They're
now,
pagans, you know.
now
Heathens.
her house church group doesn't come over as much as they used to. They don't. She's the only blind person in this church as well. And there's been a lot less accommodation, like transportation wise and everything, to keep her included. So she's not getting very much support. Um,
Okay.
it's
House church groups that decide they believe in the Old Testament. I mean, first of all, it sounds like fundamental Judaism. If you just believe in the Old Testament, that means that you believe the Messiah is still going to come. How is that different from being a Jew?
yeah.
Snip the wiener and you got it, right? So,
So anyway, long story short, I'm trying to figure out how much do I invest in an online friendship? Because do I keep because I have her phone number, so I can and we both have Apple devices, right? So iMessage is a thing that can happen.
sure.
But the whole point of this small group was so that ideas could be filtered through many different people. Like
Uh,
not a whole bunch of different people, but a few different opinions, a few different points of view, um checks and balances. Um, Now it's all split individually. And I'm sitting there going, all right, now how much do you invest in something that's online? Because I've met some really awesome people online, right? I've
Sure.
also met some assholes.
Assholes online. I guess they
So,
could be, sure.
but you can meet also some awesome people in real life and also some assholes in real life. So, what's the difference between a good online friend and a good RL friend? And how do you find and how much do you invest in each? And when do you step away? Is there a difference? Is my
Yeah.
quandary.
I think, the principles that govern what makes a friendship apply to both. One thing about a real life friendship is there's frequently more effort. There's usually more effort involved because you have to make a physical effort. You spend time together, you do stuff together,
Yeah.
and you change your life for the other person to a certain extent. You give up other opportunities to be with a person. There are other things you could be doing, but you say, no, I'm going to spend time with this person rather than go to the movies or go out with other friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so with e-friendship, that is, there's much less of that. There's less of an opportunity cost that you incur by having an e-friendship. So it can feel like an e-friendship is cost less to uh, to create, but I don't think that that means it's less valuable. I think a lot of people say that because it's easier to make friends online, that online friendships are less valuable. I don't think that's always true because of that. I think it has to do with the intrinsic nature of the people involved and what, their character, what it means to commit to a friendship, to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I've met people, not to embarrass you, but you're my friend.
Yeah.
That I spend time with you that I could be spending doing other things. I spend time getting ready for the show that I could be doing other things. Uh, and I gladly do that because I enjoy the time that we spend together.
Right.
I'm uh, and I do it for the simple enjoyment of spending time with you and spending time with the folks who come to listen to us. And I spend a lot of time listening to you in chat. I come
Yeah.
to almost every stream that you put on,
I
and you're on a lot.
am.
But it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I enjoy your personality and enjoy the times we get to spend each other in real life. Love it when you come on the show on Wednesday night. Hope you'll be there tonight,
I will.
10:30 Central Time on the news channel, 11:30 Eastern show, and uh, that that is a basis for as valid a friendship to me as any that I could have in real life. But it's more about the personality of the person and how they feel about the commitment to a friendship. Uh, and the other thing is about an e-friendship, it's easy to go away.
Mm.
It can kind of vanish like that. People can just basically vamoose out of your life by going dark. And uh, some people feel like because of that, and maybe they've had that happen to them, that an e-friendship cannot have as much value as a real life friendship
Mm-hmm.
where stalking is a possibility. I'm just kidding. But where you can follow up with somebody and figure out what's going on with them,
Yeah.
chase them down. So you know, those are some of the thoughts about it. That's the way that I feel about it. I think it's more bound up in the character and personality of the people than it is the mechanics of the friendship. But your mileage may vary, and if those other things mean more to you than they do to me, I think that's certainly understandable. I can kind of see it both ways.
See, my problem is that I'm too much of an empathetic person who likes to help people.
Yes, you are.
So I tend to want to try and help people to my detriment. Um, which is
You've never seen a hurt puppy you wouldn't pick up and
nope, exactly.
take inside and feed a saucer of milk to, or whatever you feed the puppies.
Yep. Exactly. There was a kitten actually who crawled up inside Pincalo's old car last spring.
Oh
And
yes,
I think you remember that story.
right. But
Um
tell it anyway.
it it crawled up under there, and we had to call the animal rescue people to come help us get it out. And I was just like, every time I heard that frickin' thing meow, Pincala was like, "Press, we have two cats. We cannot take it in." Press, we have two cats. We cannot take it inside. Like he was, and I'm like, "Are you telling me or yourself?" And he goes, "Yes." Because we're both kind of suckers for animals,
Yeah,
right?
he was really saying Pincallo.
Yeah.
He was talking to himself. I
Yeah.
think I know him well enough to know that. Man. We can't. No, not another cat. It's a freaking cat. Yeah, that was kind of the way. Uh, Not to personalize this, but the way that we got the third dog was uh, stepdaughter number three came waving this cute little ball of fluff, the latest rescue dog that she'd gone out and gotten from a rescue shelter. And I, I said, "We're not taking that dog. It's a long hair." I thought, "Well, it's a poodle. It doesn't shed." I said, "We're gonna have to groom. We'd have to groom that." And she put it down in my lap and started licking me and looking up with those little black button eyes. And I just went, "Oh,
God damn it.
what's her name?" And she slept with me that night.
I remember I was on Discord with you and the dog came home and you're like, "Oh no."
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You're like, "Blind, I gotta go. There's a
I,
new
I was
dog in my house."
I was trying to think who was I on with. That was you. It was you. I was
It was
chatting with.
me.
That was so funny. Oh, that was so funny. I was trying to think who because I was online at the time, and Katie comes up and says here, and drops this dog in my lap, and I'm going, oh man, yeah, Chloe's a part of our life now.
Yep.
She's a cutie. She's a cutie. Anyway, so yeah, that's the way it happens, and we're suckers for animals and so
Yep.
forth. It's it's as much obnoxious stuff as there is in the world. It's little kids and our
Little kids and
pets.
animals.
That's the stuff that God has given us to sweeten the ugly stuff in our world. Speaking of which, speaking of ugly stuff in our world,
Well, before we get on to that, let's say hi to chat.
yeah, let's say hi to Chad. And
Maddie's here. Hey, Maddie.
hey, shoot,
And Martin's here.
you know what? I'm gonna need to get up just for a second.
No worries. I will
Yeah,
say hi to chat. You
the
go
dogs are about to go crazy.
you go
And
take care of
I
what's
need
going
to
on there.
mute this quick before the
All
dog.
right. Let's see. We've got a Martin, we've got a Maddie, we've got a Seamus, and a Green Thunder, and a Gunfox. and a who else? Who else? Gosh darn it, Rolling Bear. That's who else. Nothing for you here as well. Check your logic. Zombie Teddy. Hi to everyone. I hope you guys are having an awesome day today. Um, so let's see here. Please like and share the stream if you haven't already. Let's get some more people in here. And so while we're waiting for Skep to come back, I'm actually really proud of myself today because I went to the mall before the stream and went and grabbed myself a small bag of fine grind coffee from Timothy's Coffee House. And I had only learned where the Timothy's was in the mall last week. So I did it completely by memory. I went and got myself a nice half pound of French vanilla coffee. So I'm going to be doing my review of that coffee probably tomorrow because I'm going to start doing the coffee reviews and I'm going to be buying the coffee until I can get my P.O. box set up. And then you guys can send me different samples of coffee that you want me to try.
I'm back, by the way.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So I'm super proud of myself for remembering where that store was in the mall and getting there and back without getting lost. So that was awesome. I was happy. It's the small things blind people celebrate. I remembered the route. Yes.
The small things sighted people take for granted and never give a second thought to. It's amazing the way you live your life.
Or the I crossed the street in a straight line. Fucking right.
Yeah. It's hard to do. It's hard to do than you think it is. Try and walk a straight line, someplace safe, preferably, um, with your eyes closed. It's really hard to do. Virtually everybody has one leg shorter than the other, and it's usually like a centimeter at least difference. It's surprisingly large, and that is enough. If you walk along enough, you will make a curving arc. You'll actually walk in a circle. And this is why people in the desert tend to walk in circles. They die walking in circles because one leg is different height. That's literally true. Anyway, interesting. Fun fact to know and share. I didn't see who all was in chat because you were saying hello to chat while I was getting the stuff from FedEx.
So we've got Rolling Bear and Green Thunder and Seamus and Maddie and Martin.
All right.
And Check Your Logic and Gunny.
Maddie lives pretty close to me, actually, and we're going to have the chance to meet IRL.
Yeah, she just said, Skep, how about coffee Saturday?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Done and done. I would love to do that. And can Ronan make it? That would be great. And if
just be back for 1 Central.
Yeah, exactly. My God, that is gonna be the we should show that because
that's gonna be a one ginormous stream.
That's gonna be the mother of all Star Trek streams. If you have not ever been to one of our Star Trek streams, come to that one because it is the entire second half of the last season of DS9 is in 8-part series and then the 2-part finale.
Yeah.
It's all one big theme. It's basically the Cardassian Dominion War, but with lots and lots of subplots. There's going to be so much to talk about. We're going to have so much fun. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now, Blinds. we're not going to get through it in one stream.
No, no, we're not.
It's just going to be a multi-part stream. So be there for Star Trek stream DS9 part 1.
It's all about the
Part 1.
two-parter streams.
Exactly. We're going to do a multi-part stream. I think we'll actually do 2 and possibly even 3 streams on this. There is so much material and it's so much fun. It's going to be a delight. If you are a Trek fan, if you have any familiarity with DS9 or you just want to learn about it, it's also going to provide a great overview and a recap of a lot of some of the interesting plots that go on in DS9. That thing really opened up my eyes about DS9, how wonderful a series that really was. In many ways, I like it as much as Voyager, maybe more.
Ooh, Maddie just said we could make it a day and I could come on as a fellow Trekkie. You'd have to watch, like...
Yeah, you have to watch you have to
You'd have to watch...
Maddie, I will send you the links of everything you have to watch.
If you can get it all done between now and Saturday, you're more than welcome.
You either have to have the stuff or have Netflix or something that you can watch the stuff on. But
Yeah.
you absolutely, I would love to have Maddie on. I mean,
Me too.
People, she's great.
If we had, because I think Hammer's not going to make it because I think he's...
Yeah, Hammer is sick.
But if we had Irate and you and me and Maddie...
Oh my God.
That would be a fucking amazing show.
That would be. Maddie, I would love to have you on.
So if you would,
awesome.
Yeah, if you have the time to watch all of the stuff that we're going to be talking about,
exactly,
we would absolutely love to have you join us.
Yes, Blind Press, Skep, and Maddie's House of Geek. Thank you, Ghost Dog. Name the stream. Yeah, and put irate prostate in there, and yeah, you've got it exactly. Where's irate? He's supposed to be on. He usually comes on our stream here.
He'll probably wander in soon.
Yeah, he shows up. He likes to be fashionably late. But anyway,
so you found something out about Meghan McCain.
Oh my God!
Please enlighten us about Miss Meghan McCain and her ridiculous behavior.
You're familiar with the show The View?
Yes.
Yes. And there's a creature. She's a Cardassian named Joy Behar. And
she is a Cardassian.
She possibly is even Dominion stock, but anyway, she and then there's Meghan McCain, who is the daughter. Meghan McCain would be an irritating housewife, except for the fact that she is the daughter of John McCain.
Yeah,
there's nothing exceptional about Meghan McCain. She shoots her mouth off without thinking, and she's an asshole. I'm sorry, but that's just it. She's irritating and self-righteous, and even when I agree with her, a lot of her points of view, I don't like her personally.
Wasn't she the one who showed up on, wasn't it the Colbert Report or the Daily Show with Jon Stewart in like just before Bush was just before Bush left office or just after Obama made or was inaugurated, and was like, I'm a center Republican. I'm for gay marriage. Deal with it, right wingers. Like,
yes.
Like, who cares? Why do you have to be so aggressive about it, dude?
I'm me.
Like,
deal with it. And everybody kind of went, so?
Yeah.
But last week, while discussing the recent push by Democrats to impeach Trump, right, McCain and Joy Behar got into this kind of violent rhetorical exchange about Trump. And on Monday, they were nowhere to be seen.
Really?
They were gone from the View. They were toast.
Holy shit.
Okay. They have been booted by the show while people are figuring out what happened. Now, it's ironic that both of them would be gone from the show and the show not making any comment about it just immediately after those were made. But here's what happened. Okay, so McCain said during the show last week, "I will say, if you take this kill shot, Democrats, you better not miss." Now I'm going to say that again. This is what Meghan McCain said to the Democrats, okay, about Trump. I will say, if you take this kill shot, Democrats, you better not miss.
Impeachment's a kill shot?
Hang on. So co-host Joy Behar chimes in. She says, "Yeah." And then so McCain goes on, and I'm quoting, "You better hit his jugular. And if there's even a finger still moving at the end of it, you're going to ruin your chances in 2020, McCain continues. And she's with the graphic language. And she says, "But you better do this well if you're going to do it." And my faith in Democrats, and at that moment, Whoopi Goldberg jumped in, interrupted her, and uh, yeah, because it sounded like McCain was actually saying that she wanted to kill the president. So
Yeah.
after Goldberg chimes in, McCain immediately apologized. She's all of a sudden she's fulminating this apology. It's just like cascading out of her mouth. "I don't mean literally. These are quotes. I don't mean literally. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry." She was stuttering. I don't mean, oh my God, I mean like metaphorical. I'm a shoot. I'm a hunter and a shooter. I'm sorry about
Oh,
metaphors, and I
whatever.
talk like a redneck. So sorry, but I will say you have to definitely do this. If you're going to impeach him, you have to impeach him. It can't just be proceedings that don't end up successful. And again, please don't take that the wrong way. That's how I talk. Okay,
Wow.
so Behar tried easing the situation by using a baseball metaphor because she's about as smart as a can of paint. And she said, "If you swing, you have to hit the ball," she said, trying to let McCain off the hook. McCain has hated President Trump because of the feud between the president and her father, who was a swamp monster named John McCain. Now, according to the report in April, the McCain family, who claims to be supporters of the GOP, but they never act that way, have announced that they will be backing Democrat Joe Biden during the 2020 election because they love the Republican Party that much.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Examiner reported earlier that sources close to both Biden's presidential campaign and the McCains said today that at some point during the White House race, McCain's widow Cindy and daughter Megan, a host on The View, will offer their public support in the hope of removing Trump from office in 2020 and blowing his fucking head off. I added that last little part right there. So this is what's going on, and so Monday, they're nowhere to be found. They're not on The View anymore.
Zombie Teddy said Secret Service probably wanted to have a chat with those two big mouths.
Man, I'll tell you what, Meghan McCain needs to just shut up and sit down. I mean, she just needs to.
I'm sorry, but after, like, okay, her father was a prisoner of war. Why
Yes.
would she use that language in regards to the president of the United States? Like,
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to say some things about John McCain and about the McCain family. May I go on a rant here?
Of course.
Because I kind of come from a place of knowing something about this. John McCain was an officer on an air group, air squadron that was on the USS Enterprise. And that's out of Naval Air Station Alameda in California. That's where my ship was home ported. And interestingly enough, I was in Battle Group 3 also. So the Enterprise was our flagship, and I was in one of the support ships on the USS Kansas City. So in a combat situation, I would have steamed out with the Enterprise, and we did operations with the Enterprise out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I knew I was a little bit after McCain, just a few years after McCain, not really very many. but 5 or 6 years after McCain. But
Okay.
I knew people on the Enterprise who had known him, who had either been on the Enterprise at the time when he was on there. Well, they had been on the Enterprise when he was on there, had gone to other commands, and then were back on the Enterprise in a different billet.
Okay.
And they talked about McCain. And let me tell you something about him. You know how some guys like Spruance and Halsey and some of those guys, they were just beloved by the people they worked with?
Mm.
Not McCain. McCain was out for McCain all the time, 100% of the time. His squadron mates couldn't stand him. Nobody could stand him. His COs couldn't stand him. Nobody liked him. The stewards in the mess room couldn't stand the guy. He was so egotistical. He was egotistical, stubborn, and but very, very good at what he did. He was a reasonably good pilot. He was not an exceptional pilot. He was a reasonably good pilot. He was flying an A4 Skyhawk, which was at the time he was flying it. It was a very outdated aircraft for the surface-to-air missile uh, uh, that were being fired at him, and he got hit by a surface-to-air missile. Uh, that was not his fault
No.
to be shot down. It was just bad luck. And then his trademark stubbornness served him extremely well as a prisoner of war because he's an asshole, and he was an asshole to the North Vietnamese.
Mm.
And when you're an asshole to the enemy like that, and he was really treated brutally, and he gave it right back to him. You turn into a hero, especially when you're the son of a truly heroic man, Admiral McCain, his
Mm.
father, who really was a great guy and deserved a better son, in my opinion. And so, anyway, make a long story short, um, I don't think I know what John McCain was. I believe I have a very, very good picture of what John McCain was, much better than most of the people who are reading stuff in the press. And he was not as admirable a person as you think. And people like Megan McCain who are just going to defend him no matter what. He he was all about the strokes, and the way that he would give in to the Democrats was very typical of how he would get ego strokes. He
Mm.
did that because they would tell him what a statesman he was, and that would make him feel special. He was better than all the rest of the Republicans because he gave in to the Democrats, and that made him very, very special. And
Right.
guys like Kennedy, man, they knew exactly how to jerk his chain, how to get him to give in on principle and stuff like that. In point of fact, he was not really a brilliant guy as a politician or even as a naval officer. Sorry to
Right.
let you know that. And anybody who thinks McCain was this great hero, he was not really this great hero. He was an extremely stubborn guy who was very stubborn with the enemy. That said, his comportment, the way he behaved with the enemy was laudable. He deserved the medals that he won for his behavior with the enemy. But that said, he did nothing else in his life, in my opinion, that was really very laudable. And he was a far below average senator, and frankly, a far below average person. He was an insufferable egotist,
He was pretty wishy-washy, wasn't he?
extremely wishy washy. He would do anything that would get him money or ego strokes. That's basically what, which is it's true of a lot of politicians, but you just expected more from him. And he's very disappointing. Very disappointing, man.
So this is all over
So there you go.
this Trump feud
Yeah.
between
Oh, yeah.
Trump and a dead guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, she's all about the taking the kill shot. Taking the kill shot. If you refer to the president, you say something like taking the kill shot. You not only, even though you come back and say, well, I was being metaphorical, use a baseball metaphor, okay? But
Yeah.
uh, even if you say that, somebody could come up to you and say, well, what you're doing is you're basically inciting other people to do that. And that's irresponsible. It may not be a crime,
It's very irresponsible,
But
especially when you're on national television.
well, see, that's the thing. Do we really? Do you really want to display someone on uh, worldwide TV who is making comments like that, even if you really agree with her, even if you think the best thing for America would be for someone to actually assassinate the president, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you there are people at that network who, if they could make it happen where Trump was killed, they by snapping their fingers, they would do it in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. There are a lot of
Absolutely.
Democrats who feel that way. They have absolutely no moral compunction about doing anything to get what they want. It's principle has gone out the window. It doesn't matter whether or not it's uh, people just do what they want to do at the moment they want to do it. Whether it's jumping into bed with somebody who's not your wife, or wanting the president dead because you disagree with his policies or the way he conducts his life or whatever,
Hmm.
or just because you don't like him. I want, and uh, it's it's a poor way to live. It's really shabby. I think
Why do we always?
Seamus says rhino, and he's not wrong. Uh, Republican in name only, certainly. Uh, in and I would say even patriot in name only, even hero in name only for uh, McCain, because he betrayed his country by not being by not sticking by principle, by giving in to whatever made his ego feel good. That's a different kind of betrayal, but he did, and it's heartbreaking to me.
Why
That,
do we?
that
Why is it now that we are living by the want and not by the need?
Well, because most of our needs are satisfied, because
Mm.
we've crawled up Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're above the survival. We're well into the ego. Okay, so we've got the eats and sheets done. We have enough to eat and we have a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And now we want to feel good about ourselves, and we want people to agree with us, and we want to hear soothing things, and so forth. And we need to get past that and get to the place where we want to accomplish things and make things better, make life better, make the universe better.
The
Fight against
point,
it.
Mr. Offenhouse, is to enrich yourself.
Exactly. As e- precisely. And
Oh,
uh, not to be um, lotus eating, uh, you know uh, flower sniffers, basically, just contemplating their navels. And we've become very introverted and judgmental, and not uh, people don't want to be extroverts anymore. People don't want to meet other people and learn things and challenge themselves and change. That makes me sad. It really does.
and then those that do things like this, right? Like I will go and do streaming and stuff like that. They get told, "Oh, you just want attention."
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you can't win. Jesus
No,
Christ.
it it you ignore those people though. Just remember, you unite to please everybody. What you can do though is you can go through life and you accumulate friends. You accumulate people who want to spend time with you, who want to exchange ideas with you, and whose company you enjoy. And that to me is what life is really about. Is about those connections, whether it be with family or friends or whatever. Um, it's it's about people being together, about people understanding each other and enjoying one another, for what each other has to offer. It isn't really very hard. It's not particularly profound. Uh, It's not about dominating other people. It's not about forcing people to conform to your way of thinking. Although some of these guys in these power trips um, will make you think differently. In fact, just to segue into a different subject for a minute, have you been watching any of Sinatra's shows about this SJW who was melting down? That
Oh,
that
over
Steven
Steven
Crowder,
Crowder.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think, first of all, I think that Sinatra's take on it is awesome.
Yes, he did.
Um,
Great. I agree with you.
but I think this dude is just uh, and Crowder's apology video. Oh my god, that
Oh,
was
so was that just amazing
amazing.
or what?
That was amazing. And then the guy bought right into it. The fake apology video. Where? It's
I
like,
know.
dude, you just it was satire. The apology was a sarcastic. Oh my god. Oh, it's been a treat to watch.
Yeah,
That's that's for sure. It's been a treat to watch.
I watched the one that he put up 2 hours ago. That
I haven't seen that one yet.
Vox SJW has another meltdown on Twitter, and this was when Steven Crowder is not banned, and basically the guy just you know completely goes ballistic and talks about how Crowder just doesn't have the right to say those things in public.
My favorite was when he was like, YouTube claims that it's gonna spend all month promoting its LGBT creators because it's Pride Month, but they let Steven Crowder on their platform and
Right, exactly. Yep.
it's like, oh god, dude, just shut up,
It's
just go
exactly.
home.
Yeah, and you see, he's doubled down again and said something insane about that. Said something to the effect of, how can they say that they're celebrating pride when they allow a guy like Crowder a voice? He should have no voice. I mean, he said that
Yeah,
he should have no voice. He doesn't
it's
deserve a
it's
voice,
okay for me to have one,
right? But he doesn't
but
deserve a
not
voice
him.
because he's fallen short of this guy's judgment. you know that that's that kind of judgmental, introverted, hateful kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that we we fought when I was in college in the
Yeah,
70s, and we called it racism. Okay, and we used to lampoon the southern racists, who would use the N word. I ain't gonna have no goddamn N words in school with my childrens.
yeah.
My children's gonna learn good white person truths.
Mm.
Well, now you're hearing the same thing, only it's just a different color, and they're hating on white people.
Yep.
They're hating anything that they uh, view as being the majority, or in what they think is the patriarchy or whatever.
They're hating on white people and straight people and
It,
people who even if they look at you, they see that you have white skin and they're like, oh, you must be rich, fuck you. It's like,
yeah,
what?
exactly. It's
White equals rich? Okay.
yeah.
So you're saying in your own words that black equals poor?
My bank account did not get that memo, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Hey, Sonia, I'm on stream. Blind. Hang on one second. I'm sorry.
Yep, no worry. um so we've got what's Straight Sith Mel says somebody needs to tell the queer lispy Latino to grow a thicker skin. I completely agree with that. And second of all, as a Hispanic person, that little twerp does not speak for me. Love that. Love that. So Pincalo has sent some stories for us to look at here. So let's see what they are. I'm sure this will be good for us to talk about. Mother says college suspended her indefinitely over gun photo, and now she's suing. Okay. Gun photo? What gun photo? Is this the woman who walked around with her gun all over campus? Let's see. Wow. Okay, so get this. So there's this message that says, "Get the Blaze Daily. Ditch the fake news. Get the Blaze Daily. Read news you can trust delivered to your inbox. It's free." No, and then it says, no, I'll stick with fake news or
Sorry.
send me real news. Fuck you, the Blaze.
Wait, what is the Blaze saying? I'm sorry.
So I just popped up this article that Pincalo sent me.
Yeah.
And before I can read this content, there's a little message box that pops up. It says, "Ditch the fake news. Get the Blaze Daily. Read news you can trust. Delivered directly to your inbox. It's free." And then it says, "No, I'll stick with fake news or send me real news."
Well, no, it's just different flavored fake news.
Yeah, exactly.
Same shit, different. Oh fuck, screw them. Yeah, I agree with you. Screw the Blaze.
That
And
makes me mad because I
and
kind of wanted to read this story.
and I have a friend who is on the Blaze, Lauren Chen,
Uh-huh.
and I happy to be one of her mods in her live chat. That and she's on the Blaze. She's one of the good people on the Blaze. There are good people with good points of view over there, but the Blaze has gotten too full of itself,
Yeah.
and they're just too horsey right now. Hang on, let me get over. Let's see, the Blaze, the Blaze.
Because Pincalo sent me this article about a mom who apparently um was suspended from college over a picture of a gun.
Huh. Let's see.
I'm trying to find the
Mother
stupid.
suspended for picture of gun.
The headline is Mother says she was suspended over, or Mother says college suspended her indefinitely over gun photo and now she's suing.
All right. So, Florida's First Coast Technical College has a low view of U.S. and state constitutions, according to a federal lawsuit by a student who says she's been suspended indefinitely. Diamond Dallas, that is her name, Diamond Dallas,
Page? No.
really, is suing the Florida College for violating her First and 14th Amendment rights and retaliating against her in violation of the Florida Constitution. The Jacksonville Daily Record reports the college, which is part of the St. Johns County School District, suspended Dallas after another student reported a Facebook photo of her and her fiance holding legally purchased and lawfully possessed firearms at a gun range in Palatka. What?
So wait.
What?
So she was posted a picture of herself on
No,
her own Facebook page.
no. Listen, another student reported a Facebook photo, just that one exists, a Facebook photo of her and her fiance with legally purchased and lawfully possessed firearms at a gun range, at a legal gun range.
So this was her personal Facebook page
Yeah.
that this picture
No,
was on, and the student.
It doesn't say that. It just says the photograph was posted. It doesn't say where it was posted.
Okay, but a nosy student.
Yes, exactly.
Was like, hey, there's this picture in existence.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
listen to the detail. 2 days after the photograph was posted, Dallas was confronted on the college's St. Augustine campus by the assistant principal and informed that she was being suspended indefinitely for appearing in a picture holding a firearm. Let that
This
sink
is
in for a minute.
Florida, right?
Yeah, this is Florida. During the
Florida.
suspension meeting, the assistant principal, whose name is Donna Gary Donovan, said that in the posted picture, Dallas had a quote mean look end quote on her face, was possessing quote illegal guns end quote, and stated that quote things you do in the dark come out to the light end quote, according to the complaint.
Wow.
The photo constitutes purely off-campus Facebook communication with friends and has no connection to a school-related activity and could not interrupt the school environment, according to the suit, meaning the college sanction on Dallas's retaliation. She's demanding a judgment against the school and damages to be determined at trial, as well as corrective statement be placed in her student file indicating that she was unconstitutionally disciplined and that her rights were violated.
Hell yeah.
Dallas's lawyer is Cord Bird, a Republican state representative. He told Jacksonville area news station blah 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 that the Constitution protects activities that other people might find uncomfortable or unpopular, such as the lawful use of firearms. Dallas and her fiance, blah 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 name, whom she refers to as husband on Facebook, were at a shooting range with his cousin, who is a veteran, who was instructing them in using guns. They posed for a photo where Dallas was aiming a gun at the camera and Royster held a gun at his side. Royster said he posted the photo to Facebook with the caption, "She's my Bonnie and I'm her Clyde." Just a cute little posed picture, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean is, like, we're together forever. And I feel like the main thing was that we're getting stereotyped because of the color of our skin. They're both black. He appears to have hidden the photo, which is not among his public Facebook photos, but uh, uh, there is a public copy that's circulating on various archive sites.
A mean
Anyway,
look on her
a
face.
mean look
Jesus
on her face. Jesus.
Christ.
An administrator was so panicked by the photo that she wouldn't let Dallas return to the classroom where she'd brought a slow cooker for a party. A comment on the reporter's tweet on the story claims Dallas is wearing the school uniform, quote unquote, in the photo, making her identifiable as an FCTC student. Dallas has
So?
a young daughter with Royster and says she can't work while raising her unless she has a college education. She's getting A's in her classes. I wanted to do this to be able to provide my family, and now I can't. College told the station it wouldn't comment on pending litigation. And
That's like saying that
you're just two normal looking people. I mean, they're black. They have, she's got her hair. It's dyed blue. Okay, that's done. What's wrong with that? He's got dreads. That's very popular. Uh, why would they be discriminated against? Maybe because they're black.
that
Man, I'd be bringing a racial discrimination against these guys. I'd be going for I'd be going for the large money.
that makes no sense though. Like that would be like if I was still going to university. Because I have a hoodie from the university I went to.
I actually have found the picture.
Okay.
She does not have a mean look on her face. She's just looking. It's a completely neutral look on her face. She's like wearing a blue jumpsuit kind of a thing. I don't know if it's a uniform or not, but it looks like she's aiming the gun at the camera. I'm sure it's unloaded. Probably doesn't have a magazine in it or anything like that. And she's just horsing around with her husband or fiance or whatever he is, and they're he's she's his Bonnie and he's her Clyde. It's just a fun picture. And all of a sudden, no, she's suspended from college because of a mean look on her face.
Like,
And it's not a mean look. Even if it was a mean look, even if it was a terrifying look,
yeah,
if it was a war face, give me a war face.
even if she was doing that creepy fucking Anthony Hopkins from fucking Silence of the Lambs, like,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
who cares?
Or Tony Perkins from Psycho. Either one,
Yeah,
it doesn't fucking matter. It's First Amendment, bitches. Get over it.
like even up in Canada, there would be a cause for that for her.
Of
Like
course.
if I was say I was still going to the university I went to,
Yeah.
and I was wearing my hoodie up at the cottage.
Yeah.
And Pincolo and I were playing around with his air pistol.
Yeah.
And somebody got all offended
Yeah.
because there was a Twitter video or something
Of course.
of me shooting a target with an air pistol and wearing my hoodie.
Of course, a
And
blind
they
girl with a gun would be a little disturbing. But anyway, please
and
go.
and they like report to my university that, oh, there's this picture or this video that exists.
Yes.
Like that would be insane.
I know.
And even I doubt that she was wearing the school uniform, but even if she was, that doesn't matter.
It looks like Scrubs. It looks like Scrubs. I bet it's a medical college, and I bet she's studying to be like a medical assistant or
Maybe.
something like that. And she's wearing blue scrubs because, when my daughter was studying to be a dental assistant,
Yeah.
she wore scrubs and all the time because they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
When my two stepdaughters were studying to be nurses, they wore scrubs. From what I can tell, they essentially wore nothing but scrubs for 2 years while they were in school. And the same with my wife. My wife wore scrubs for years and years and years. And she won't even put them on now, interestingly enough. Hates them. She's just bored by them.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
Anyway, so that's the she's going to win that suit, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to go to trial. The insurance company will not permit that to go to trial
No.
because they do not want that in the hands of a jury. Get some jury that has a libertarian in there. Holy shit! Are we bound by the amount that the defendant is asking, or can we go higher?
Yeah.
Just use your good judgment. What comes after septillion?
Oh, here's another one from Pincolo. So this is about Prince Charles and Trump's conversation that they had together.
Oh, I want to hear this.
So the headline says, I totally listened to him. Prince Charles spent 90 minutes trying to convince Trump that climate change is bad.
I totally listened to him.
And then the second headline says, Donald Trump suggested he does not believe the earth is getting hotter, but that it changes both ways. Well, it does. He's not wrong. It does cycle. It does get hotter and colder. Oh my. Okay, let's see here.
It's hard for me not to react and just start ranting about climate change. I'm really fighting myself right now.
Okay, so it says, during his 3-day trip to the UK this week, U.S. President Donald Trump was scheduled to have a 15-minute meeting with heir to the throne, Prince Charles, over tea. It ended up, I can't picture Trump drinking tea. It ended up being a 90-minute conversation about climate change. Oh, I see. I'm sure that was an amazingly genial conversation.
I'll bet it was, actually, because Trump knows how to charm people like Charles.
That's true. So it continues on. We were going to have a 15-minute chat, and it turned out to be an hour and a half, and he did most of the talking, and he is really into climate change. And I think that's great, Trump later said. I totally listened to him. And he also talked about architecture. Why does he just. Does Trump just.
He's like a little boy, isn't he? He's like, so what did you learn at school today, little Donnie? Well, we learned about climate change and architecture. It's like a little kid. Oh my gosh, I would give anything that wouldn't it be great to be a fly on the wall and have heard that conversation?
It would have.
That would have been um, interesting. I wonder if Charles was trying to lobby him, and if Trump really tried to put up any resistance at all. I would love
Yeah.
to have that conversation with Charles because he's really well informed. He's extremely well informed on the stuff. Has a lot of statistics at the drop of a hat. Is very very up on that. What I'd like to do is challenge some of the statistics that exist and talk a little bit about confirmation bias and the right way to research climate change.
Yeah.
And first of all is to take the word change out of it. Research climate, find out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, just climate.
Yeah, to understand what's going on with climate. What things make temperature and humidity and the various components of climate, what alter them, how do they work together, what are the synergistic and systematic effects of one to another and of groups of them to other groups. It's a very, very complicated thing. And for these guys who come out and say, no, the research has been done, fuck you. If you even question the research, you're fucked. That's a closed mind, and I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's been enough fudging with the data, basically faking the data to make a predetermined conclusion come true to where that all that probably needs to be revisited. And the other thing is that even if after everything is said and done, you come out with some solid information saying, yes, the climate's getting warmer, and yes, man is a big part of it. The people you have to go to start making that better are China and India, by far the biggest polluters. And when I say by far, I'm talking about by a factor of 10.
Oh yeah.
In terms of China, and maybe in India, in terms of water pollution, by a factor of 100.
Oh, for sure.
The they have befouled that part of the world to the point where it will take generations to make it right. And that's if you got rid of all the people right now, that's a non-starter, obviously.
Yeah, where would you put them all?
Well, and the obvious solution is, kill them and cut them into tasty roasts and chops and keep them in refrigerators. I mean, that's what occurs to me because I'm a crazy person.
Or bury them and reneutralize or renourish the soil?
Yeah, there's that possibility.
Hell, why do you think Europe's soil is so freaking rich? All the wars that have been going on for all
what you
this.
could do is you could make them into pig feed, grow a lot of pigs, tell the Arabs that these are not really pigs; they're just a different kind of hairless goat, and alter their diet.
And I'm never getting monetized.
These amazing hairless goats.
And they make oinking noises. Isn't that
Absolutely.
amazing?
The ribs are much better than the conventional goat ribs. I love them.
Don't milk them though.
Yeah, you don't want the pig milk. Pig milk is very sweet, actually. I've heard. Anyway.
So
very fatty too, by the way.
So yeah, apparently they spoke for an hour and a half on climate change, and it says so. This article continues to say He wants to make sure future generations have a climate that is good climate as opposed to a disaster, and I agree. I did mention a couple of things. I did say, well, the United States right now has among the cleanest climates there are. I think you mean the cleanest air.
Yeah.
I don't think you mean a clean climate, but
Jeez.
okay. Um,
That climate sure is clean. Yeah, it is. Shiny. Shiny climate.
and it's even getting better.
Yeah.
Charles has campaigned for years to raise awareness about the destruction of the environment and the impact of climate change. In 2014, he characterized climate change deniers as a headless chicken brigade.
Oh my gosh.
Trump suggested he did not believe the earth is getting hotter, but that it changes in both ways.
Hmm.
He wants to make sure future. Oh, they're just repeating it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Um.
Trump does.
So.
Trump doesn't know. He doesn't know shit. That's apparent to me. It changes both ways. Well, that's a nice. It's a nice political answer, but that doesn't really mean anything. The chances are that uh, uh, man is adding energy. It's taking potential energy and turning it into kinetic energy and heat energy. And so some of that is gets translated out as heat. And that means you will be able to measure that heat in the environment. So
Yeah.
there is a definite positive effect on heat just by man's activity, just by breathing. If man did nothing more than convert food into CO2 and metabolize it, he'd be creating heat, just the heat from our bodies, for example,
Yeah.
the heat of the air that we breathe out. So there's yes, there is positive heating. Is it uh, relevant to uh, the overall increase in temperature in the Earth? Is it a major factor in that? We really don't know. We haven't been able to determine that. And we've been so interested in getting an answer of yes or of justifying that answer that too much of the research is tainted with confirmation bias
Yeah.
to where we basically have to throw a lot of it away and go back and keep the good stuff that we have, research extensively and see how close we can get to an answer. That said, if we're going to do something, okay, the answer is not for the United States and Britain and France to get together and sign the Paris Accords and feel good about ourselves. We're doing what needs to be done. No, we're not. You're not doing anything. It's like that ad on the internet. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works at all.
Yeah.
Because the way it works is you get China and India to stop polluting at the rate that they're polluting. China is turning the atmosphere into a garbage pit.
Yes.
Okay, India is turning their rivers into sludge pits to where we something has to be done with those two nations and really with that whole part of the world where they have to buy into a different approach to the environment because the dump in India they just dump their uh, industrial stuff into the water supply,
Yeah.
into the rivers that people get their drinking water from. And not only that, a lot of the stuff that gets dumped is by US corporations.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that we probably ought to do is force US corporations to adhere to certain standards. We could at least lead the way over there then. But and if it makes us not competitive, there are things that we can do to enforce that. I mean, it almost needs to be a war type of effort though, to where we'll say, you have to do this because we all have to live on the earth. You're destroying the earth. If you don't stop destroying the earth, we're going to start bombing you.
Yeah.
And but before we do that, we have to take the moral lead on that, and we have to stop doing it first.
Well, we do. And the thing is, but what drives me crazy is that people like countries like mine with 35 or 37 million people think that they're going to make a impact
Right. Exactly.
by
Canada recycling paper clips is going to save the world.
yeah.
Exactly.
Irate's here. He says he just woke up. Hi, buddy.
Must be nice.
And Prospero's here. Hi, Prospero.
Prospero. Irate. Kiss you
And
both.
Moonshock.
Moonshock's here. Sith is here. My God. All you need.
Down with oxygen, says Moonshock.
We've had invasion of more cool people into our stream. Thank you guys for coming over. It's so good to see you.
If you don't stop destroying Earth, we will destroy your part of it, says all you need.
You know, I love that's perfect. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. So, yeah, Boomer Summit can begin. Prospero, Irate, and I. You know, it's interesting. This isn't too relevant to anything we've been talking about, but one of the things I notice is that people use boomer as an epithet. Stupid boomer, you know.
I've noticed that boomer is an epithet and now millennial is getting to be an epithet.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's and even like the generational gap is huge now. We've like everybody's just gone into their own little generational cliques. Like you've got people, going, oh, fucking boomers. And then you got, oh, stupid millennials. And you've even got people going, oh, no, stupid Gen Xers. They're the ones that are the real problem. It's everyone hates each other now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just strange. Like, I remember when growing up, there was always, people that, were on the fringes of things.
Yes.
But were able to cross over.
Right.
Like, some people hung out with some of the, like, I was one of the ones who, usually had older friends because I just didn't get along with people who were either younger than me or my age. Like,
too mature, probably.
The only person who is my friend who is my age basically was forced to grow up really fast because she had a crap childhood.
Yes.
But other than that, everybody that I hang out with is older than me. Like, even like Pincalo and Pincalo is 5 years older than I am. I just cannot do people my own age or younger than I am. They drive me insane.
I didn't realize he was 5 years older than you were. I thought he was like 1 year older than
you. He's 5 years older than me.
Got 1 foot in the grave, practically.
That's why I just cut out the middleman and hate everyone, says Jolly Roger spills water.
Me. Let's see. Check Your Logic says millennial has become an epithet. It's died down since boomer became a thing. Yeah, you're right. We're taking some of the hits ourselves.
Moi at Blind Press? Yes.
That's a kiss. Moi.
Oh, moi.
Yeah, that's a kiss. She's giving you a kiss.
Oh, thank you there, Prospero. Moi back. Let's see.
We have such good friends, don't we?
We do.
See, these are e-friendships, and these are valuable. These are good people who, we all legitimately care about one another. We see each other a lot. We spend a lot of time with each other. We say a lot of words to each other. I mean, think about the other friends in your life. how many times a week do you get together with them and talk with them for 2 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Like
and
I think the only person that I can do that with is, my best friend from school. We
exactly.
can we can text each other for hours, and then we'll just stop talking for a bit, and then, or it'll be, hey, do you have time for a call? Yes, okay, and then we'll talk for like 2 hours, and we'll be like, oh shit, I got it.
But
I got it.
how is that different from when I call you up and say, "Hey, have you got time for a call?" And we sit there and talk for an hour.
It's not.
It's not. It's really not. Same thing with Prospero or Irate. I do that with all of you guys. And
Only difference is I can take the bus to see her in the summer times.
right, I could take the bus to see. It's just a long bus ride. It's one of those 2,000-mile bus rides.
Yeah.
What is the distance from Dallas to? You're in the Yukon territory, is that
No, I'm in Ontario.
okay? Well, that Ontario's in the Yukon, right?
No, it's not.
Is it Alaska?
Way too far north.
Distance.
Ontario is bordered by Michigan and New York and, come on, I know this. Fuck. uh yeah. Up around the Quebec side, you've
Yeah,
got Vermont and stuff like that.
I can't find it in miles. Let's see.
From Dallas
Oh,
to,
there it is. Okay,
if you were to stay
it's
for Toronto,
14
say,
1,400 miles. It's
from
1,400 miles by roads. It's actually 1,200 miles as the crow flies, but it's 1,400 miles by surface roads.
all you need says the southernmost point of Ontario is farther south than the most northern point of California. Yes.
Actually, I was going to Toronto for some reason.
Yeah, that's about an hour away from where we are.
What's the name of your town? Or
Hmm?
what's the name of your town or a town near you?
Town near us?
Is
Let's
yeah.
think. Actually, Toronto is probably your best bet.
Okay,
It's the
so it's basically
closest major city.
1,200 miles. So it would be the road journey will take 1 day, 7 hours, and 22 minutes.
Wow, that's
Um,
a long time.
yeah, let's see. I can do 750 miles in about 13 hours. And then I basically crater because that's the drive from Dallas to Denver.
Hmm.
And I can do that with two rest stops, believe it or not. And those are also stops for gas.
Yeah.
And just you know, you just crank it, just crank highway
See,
miles. And it's highway all the way. It's freeway all the
you
way
know
up.
what's crazy?
What's that?
You could drive 1,300 miles in Ontario and
Yeah.
still be in Ontario.
What do you mean? 1,300 miles in Ontario?
And still be in Ontario. Like, it's a you.
Oh, well, yeah, the size of the province. Sure,
Ontario is
absolutely.
fucking ginormous.
Well, yeah, it goes all the way to Russia, right? The southern part is Moscow in Russia. Goes over the North Pole, I think.
There's If you look up Manitoulin Island, which is in Ontario, I think that's the most northern point of Ontario.
What's it called?
Manitoulin Island.
All right, I'm looking at
Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay's
Charlton
not
Island,
quite.
Manitoulin Island, Manitoulin Island. Let's see, hold on here. see. Manitou,
Oh, you'll hit Manitoba first, says
Mani-
all you need. Yeah.
Manitoulin Island. There it is. All right. Manitoulin Island is okay. That is actually part of Ontario. It's man, Ontario is really big. Ontario is that's a big honking province. You know what is even bigger is Quebec.
Yep. It's all you need says um alert Air Force Base is the most northern inhabited place in Canada.
Alert Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And where is Alert Air Force Base?
I don't know. Do you know where that is all you need?
Alert Air Force Base.
Yeah, it's a good distance from Thunder Bay to Toronto. It's about 12 10 hours, I think, from Thunder Bay to Toronto.
Northernmost Canadian city. That's what I'm going to say. How about that?
That works.
All right. The northernmost Canadian city is Alert Nunavut.
None of it. Yeah.
And
That's
Nunavut
one of the territories.
is when you're having none of it.
Oh, 15 hours. Sorry, Prospero. So Alert Air Force Base would probably be an Alert
Alert
Nunavut.
Nunavut. Nunavut. Nunavut. When you're having none of it, that's none of it.
And
And
that territory was created in 1998. The territory of Nunavut.
yes, that's because that was man. That is like when you say that is like at the very close to the North Pole.
Yep.
That's not very far at all. That's like the not very far at all. That's
Just is the magnetic North Pole actually in Canada or Russia?
it's in magnetic north right now. I think is in the Bering Sea.
Okay.
If memory serves, let me see.
I've always wondered where.
It wanders around. It actually
Yeah,
changes a lot more than you think it does.
that's true.
It's when we tended to use star sites. We didn't use Mag North much
Mm.
when we were at sea.
Is it less reliable?
Yes, very less reliable. It's mostly a yeah. Alert is like just if you went to the very top of Greenland and
Mm-hmm.
then just hopped over to the nearest part of Canada, that's where Alert Air Force Base is. That's a really cool area. I'm sorry, I'm just all fast. I'm going all
Hey, no worries. It's
spurring on this like nobody's business, and got the map out. Man, that is not very many buildings. That's not a large settlement.
Canada does have an air force. Straight South Mail. Actually, we have a pretty good air force.
There is
Um,
one runway. Count them. One
one.
runway, and a little tiny hangar, and that's it. Other than that,
But
they're having none of it.
yes, Straight South Mail. Canada does have a pretty robust air force.
Yeah, they do actually.
Um, we have I actually have family that serves very high up in the Air Force. I won't um, reveal what because I will probably dox myself doing that. But let's just say I have family who are brass in the Air Force. Um, And when I say brass, I mean like
at the
very high up,
secretarial level.
very, very high up.
So
Um, like directing the troops high up.
the Royal Canadian Air Force consists of 14,500 regular force and 2,600 primary reserve personnel. They operate 258 manned aircraft and 9 unmanned aerial vehicles.
Hmm.
They The current commander is Lieutenant General Al Meinzinger of the Royal Canadian Air Force, and he's Chief of the Air Force Staff. The I'm trying to look and see.
Do they polish their brass?
They certainly do. They Yeah, the in 1968, the Royal Canadian Navy, the Air Force, and the Army were amalgamated to to form the Canadian Forces. This initiative was overseen by the Liberal Defense Minister Paul Hellyer. The controversial merger maintained several existing organizations and created some new ones. Um, in Europe, uh, Canadair, uh, the Canadian Air Force operated the coolest plane,
Avro Arrow.
the coolest fighter plane ever created,
And then
the
we had the
F-104 Starfighter.
Oh, I was gonna say the Avro Arrow. We had we would have had the Avro Arrow, and that would have been a huge, huge boon. But thanks to the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis, we
Uh,
had to cancel that program.
you've got you had the F-104, which was just, it was a Mach 2 badass,
Yeah, the F-104 is
just a
yeah.
totally badass dogfighter, and just the F-104 is here to kill you. But they're all F-18s now.
Yeah.
Just multi-purpose F-18s, by and large. Let's see what you've got: Airbus, Beech, Bombardier, um, transport, utility, airliner. You have tactical transport, maritime. Yeah, F-18s. That's the big one. F-18 is your fighter, and you're also using bomber. And then you got a lot of helicopters, various helicopters.
Maniac Man says 9 UAVs, laughs an American.
Yeah, I know. We have 9 in the air at any one time. That's for sure. But the
And then Jolly Rogers Bilgewater says, I touched an SR-71 once and immediately had to change my pants.
I remember in 1960, I want to say 4 or 5, we were at my dad was a professor at the Air Force Academy,
Mm.
and he's also head of the aeronautics laboratory there. And we were at a football game, Air Force Academy Falcons football game, and they were having a flyover. Oh, I know what it was for. It was for graduation. They were
Okay.
about to have graduation. They said, we're going to have a very special flyover. They had the B-70 Valkyrie. I got to see that.
Nice.
One of those, yeah, it was an amazing plane. It's a giant bomber that was a Mach 2 bomber. So, just one of a kind. Um, and then they said, we have this other thing, and it's called a YF 11A, and it's going to do a low altitude, uh, but over the speed of sound, flyby over the
Mhm.
stadium. And this was prototype of the SR-71 Blackbird. This thing comes screaming out of the south at about, they said it was about Mach 1.2, at about 1,000 feet,
Wow.
which may sound like a lot. It's not.
No, that's very low.
And it was like being hit on the head with a croquet mallet. Your ears rang from the sonic boom. It shattered the glass in the press box. Some people were actually injured by falling glass from the press box as it shattered the glass in the Air Force Academy stadium press box that was above the stadium. This was, a big stadium, like
Yeah.
What you're used to for American college football. And it went by so fast, your eye just did not believe that something could move that fast. You see it and you just didn't believe it. To this day, I've never seen anything like it. It was absolutely astonishing. That's my SR-71. The YF-12A would eventually be lengthened slightly and have a couple of changes, not external changes, internal changes, and would become the SR-71. But we got to see it as it would in its nascent form. It was an amazing thing. It was an amazing thing to see that.
So that's why I don't like going to, like, I keep telling Pincalo that he should take the kids to air shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But I won't be going with him.
Well,
I'm like, unless you buy me some of those like noise canceling ear thingies that shooters wear, I will not be going with you.
It's loud. It's definitely loud when they come over. But that was interesting to see. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on.
No worries.
Tell these long stories and just kind of lose myself in the memory. I forget that maybe not everybody is that interested in my memory as I am. But it was fun.
Here's a funny Trudeau article.
Yeah.
Trudeau doubles down on feminist credentials.
Of course he does.
Because,
because Trudeau
that helped. I am a feminist. Ugh, that was so creepy when he did that. So this says, Justin Trudeau has done a lot this past week to demonstrate his commitment to feminism. Oh, really? What has he done? Let's see. He turned abortion into a full-fledged Canada-US issue when he met with Vice President Mike Pence last Thursday. On Monday, the Prime Minister divided his day between two huge events devoted to women: the delivery of a final report on missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in Gatineau, which is a city in Quebec just outside of Ottawa, and the Women Deliver conference in Vancouver. That's the conference that I read about where their author was angry that gun control was not being made a feminist issue.
Because reasons.
Because reasons, yes. So that says, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's recent emphasis on women's issues, including his appearance at the Women Deliver conference in Vancouver on Tuesday, comes with risks for the Liberals that are potentially larger than the rewards. No shit. Susan, so it says, because we are now cynical consumers of political marketing, such concerted flurries of attention are considered brandishing or messaging. Politicians don't carry conviction anymore. They carry messages. That's actually a true statement.
Yeah.
They don't run on personal values anymore. It's all big brand, big, what does my party line dictate?
Right.
Yeah, like Random American says, all the things have to be linked to all the other things. Yes. Like that's how politicians are acting these days. is that everything is connected and everything has to be a partisan issue. Um, and it's showing. So then it says, I'm sorry, it's not messaging. Sophia something French, a British Columbia um, professor, I think it says, or a BC Green MMP, or Greasy Bean Green MMLA once. Um, this is a weird sentence. A BC Green MLA, which is like a member of something, corrected a colleague who complimented her passionate, articulate uh, um, uh, speech in favor of electoral reform. It's what I actually truly believe. I don't think you do understand what you actually truly believe anymore, person. Like, see, this is what I mean. People are blurring their party lines so much and making everything partisan that I don't think they do know what they believe in, like personally, anymore. I think that um people are too stuck in identity politics at this point,
Yeah.
to where they go, no, I am a liberal, therefore I believe everything that the liberal government is doing is correct. Um, or I am a conservative, therefore I believe everything that is the conservative platform
Yeah.
is
It's
gospel.
it's all or nothing. Everybody has turned into ideologues,
Yeah,
and that's a dangerous place to be in for my money. I don't I don't trust ideologues.
I don't either.
I don't like um, I don't like for people to be so monolithic that I doubt that they've looked at each individual issue, and what they do is they uncomfortably go along with a lot of stuff because they go along with issue B, C, D because they believe passionately in issue A.
Right.
B, C, D, and E are some very unhealthy, unpleasant things. And that's how you kind of get hauled down the garden path. That's how Nazism and communism happen. That's that deadly slide that you uh, can get into from uh, wanting something so much that you're willing to sacrifice your values, your morals, anything else because it's so important for you that it happened. You know,
Yeah.
it's like Megan McCain being willing to sacrifice her values. You know, just she literally, if she could have uh, Trump actually killed, there's no doubt in my mind if she could snap her fingers and make it happen. There's no doubt in my mind, none, that she would say yes, absolutely, God, make it happen.
Also, if she were not responsible for and if she were given the news of his death,
She'd click
I
her heels.
guarantee you she would dance.
Yes, absolutely.
She would dance, she would hoop and holler. Given
Absolutely.
the opportunity, she would probably do so on national television.
Yep.
Like if it was a breaking news thing
Yep.
and she hadn't been ousted from the view,
Uh,
there would be a live dance.
yeah. She'd be very happy. She and that's sick and sad and probably not what she ever thought about turning into in the first place. She never said, you know, I'm going to become this sad, sick, ideological, hateful person. Nobody sets out to become that person,
No.
but it happens. And it happens because people don't notice the slide. They don't notice themselves, you know, in terms of a memorable author slouching toward Gomorrah, you know.
Hmm.
They kind of they don't realize that they're changing. They don't realize that these little things that they give up, these little things they give in on, add up to larger things, and they end up taking some amoral and deeply evil positions.
Mm.
They're very sad. Anyway, I do go on.
Jolly Roger has a good point. Like wanting to speak for um, like wanting free speech so hard, you allow your 11-year-old trans, or you can't stop parents from letting their 11-year-old trans child dance for money from fully grown homosexual men. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good, healthy stuff.
that's not free speech though, as my Maniac Man says.
Mm,
Enforcing crap on your kids
that's
isn't
child
freedom.
abuse, don't you think?
That's yeah.
That to me is
Fo-
child
yeah,
abuse.
forcing stuff like that on your kids isn't
How
free speech or anything like that.
how is a kid supposed to negotiate that in their brain?
I want to know how the establishment that that kid was in wasn't
Yeah,
shut down.
it must have been in some extremely liberal venue. That's all I can think of.
It has to have been because, like, and I want to know why there weren't any gay men in that club that went, ew, no, and went and said something. What, like, why didn't anyone say anything?
I think that's a fair question. I think that's a fair question. I don't understand that either.
Like, as a
I
gay, like, if I was a gay man and I saw that, I would be like, this is not what I want for my community. I need to do something about this.
right. This is not fun. This is not good. There's nothing wholesome. There's nothing positive about that. There's nothing I want identified with my community with perverting a child,
Yeah.
taking a child and destroying a child. Ugh, fuck's sake. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. I've never understood that. Never understood that story. Never understood the draw to that either. Of course, I don't get pedophilia in the first place, so I may not
Uh,
be a good person to understand.
Grillin' Pirate Pete says there were a couple that spoke up afterwards but didn't say anything at the time because they were afraid of being dogpiled. Well, you know what? Then they have no spine.
Yeah,
Because when it comes to kids, you know what? If people are going to dogpile you for saying something about kids being in a gay bar
you're
and
on.
being drag queens,
Yeah,
then they're pieces of crap and
you're on the side of the angels.
you're on the side of good and
Yeah,
let them dogpile you. It's just going to make them look like awful people.
damn right. Seth says, just look at the censorship going on. They want to silence the anti-war left as well as they want to silence people on the right. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
They're
Censorship all around is bad.
yep.
Um, I think at the moment there is way too much censorship on both sides. I think we have gotten way too tangled up in partisanship and in identitarianism to make or to listen, let alone make of any valid argument.
Fair point. Maddie says drag is not for children. It's too sexualized to be for children. Yeah, why can't everybody understand that? Why can't you why can't everybody see no, drag is fundamentally sexualized.
Yeah.
End of statement, okay? Therefore it is not for children. Not ever. It's not ever appropriate. She hit it right on the head.
Yeah, I I wouldn't want my boys to be drag queens at 11 any more than I would want my little sister to have been pole dancing at 11.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're
Yep.
both sexual things.
Right. And that's why, I don't know. I sound like an old moralist, and I swore I would never be that person. But society has done this to me. It's not me that's changed. Um, I just Arms Killer says, if I were told that allowing homosexual marriage would result in a push by the left to normalize pedophilia, I would laugh and call them idiots.
Mhm.
But that is what we're seeing. I don't know if you can
I think
draw
that
that
the
conclusion directly from that.
yeah, I think
That's
there's
a stretch for me.
I think the majority of the LGBT community
They're horrified by
looks
this.
at this and goes, "Oh my god."
Yeah, and they look at this and say, "Oh, great! Now we're going to get tarred with this brush."
Yeah.
And they don't want any part of this any more than we do. I've known more than my share of gay people, and most of them, save for the person who they love and their sexual preference, were not substantially different from heterosexual people who I've known. Not really in any particular way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not really seeing they weren't over sexualized or different. They were differently sexualized, but not over sexualized. Not different in the amount of sexualization, and there was certainly no orientation toward children. That's something that they get unfairly targeted with, and my stepson, or now stepdaughter, who has had her name legally changed and has had hormone treatments and all that stuff, is certainly part of that community.
Hmm.
But other than that, she's somebody who just completed her degree in IT and is looking for a system administrator job. She's not different from other people except in that way. She was born a guy and just has had tremendous difficulty dealing with that her whole life, and now has finally got the money and opportunity to do something about it.
Yeah.
And more power to her.
Yeah, I think most gay and trans and bisexual people look at this very loud minority
Yes,
and go, "Holy shit, would you be quiet?" Like
exactly.
look, think of all of that gay people have had to fight for.
Yep. Yep.
You cannot tell me that most gay people are looking at what's going on right now going, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that."
Right. That's bullshit. So there you go. Sid
So
says, I
we've
have a
got 4
cousin that
minutes.
was let me just read this.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Sid says, I have a cousin that was demonized because he is gay, and they compared that to him possibly being a pedo, and no, he absolutely was not. And I got into sci-fi because of my cousin. Just because you're gay doesn't have anything to do with pedophilia.
No.
That is bullshit. I'm tired of that.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
So yeah, and Maniac Man kind of hit it right there. It sounds like some '60s Fear the Gays crap. And yeah, I agree with Sith. Maniac Man, you hit that exactly on the head. That's bullshit,
It
and
is. It's absolute bullshit.
should reside in the dustbin of history. Um, I hope that people will, accept my formerly stepson, now stepdaughter, and other people who are in that position as just regular people, because that's all they want. That's all she wants.
Yeah.
Is to just be accepted. Just treat them like normal people. That's all.
Hmm.
It's not over sexualized. It's not all about sex. It's not all about anything. It's just about being normal. She's finally happy. She's happy being a woman
And that's
because
good.
that's what she was supposed to be, and uh, trapped in with the wrong equipment, and she's finally in a position to do something about that, and she'll get nothing but support from me.
And
So
that's awesome.
unfortunately, she doesn't get any support from the rest of her family. Unfortunately, they're fundamentalist Baptists, and
Mm,
uh, she's evil and sinful, and they talk to her about how she'll be tortured for eternity in hell,
that's terrible.
like fire with a diving board. So we have to deal with that.
Oh, thank you, YouTube, for telling me that Minions of the Zoo has uploaded a stream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
12 hours too late.
yeah. I frequently get notice of the coffee stream at like 6 o'clock at night. I get notice of monkeys stream the next day.
Yeah,
That
I
that
know.
happens almost every single day.
I got like Scribe Light is live with Lords of the Night at like
Right,
8 o'clock this morning.
right. Yeah, exactly. Still, man, that is really going on. Must be a great stream, man. So there you go. But no, that's just it. Um, YouTube has not got it all figured out. I do think this. I guess we're going to have to close it out here pretty soon. But I think YouTube and Facebook and all these other social media platforms, their attempt to curate speech is doomed, and that all they're doing is making marketing opportunities for places that don't curate speech.
Hmm.
And, I don't think Minds would even be surviving now, if not for the fact that YouTube basically has kicked so many people, has kicked so many content creators off. They're all going to Minds, if you notice.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do because I'm trying to figure out how to grow myself.
Yeah.
And I'm
You're
what the
you're not going to grow much on Minds. What you might think about doing is having a safety account on Minds to
yeah.
set something up. That's basically what I did. I set up an account, and the one or two videos that I've done, I throw over there just to have a place to migrate to, because sooner or later I'm going to make another video, and at some point I'm going to piss them off to the point where they throw me off. And
Yeah.
it I feel another video coming on, by the way. Get my subscribers hopeful again. I'm feeling like I'm going to write another script here pretty soon.
Okay.
I've got a topic pretty firmly in mind, and I've got some pretty extensive notes written down. I'm going to coalesce them, and my videos are basically pretty pictures, because I don't go on camera, and listening to me read my script.
Yeah.
But they are my coherent thoughts, such as they are, such coherence as they have, in one place, and so something to look forward to, or be afraid of, depending on the point of view. Yeah, but with that, look at that. The time has flown by, and you've wasted another perfectly good 2 hours of your life streaming with Blind Press and Skep Talk.
Yep. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We sure have. And
Yay!
please come tonight and watch the Minions of the Zoo at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central.
Featuring Blind Press.
Yes, featuring myself. I will be there. Please take a moment to visit the links in the description.
Like, share, and subscribe.
The like, share, and subscribe. Skep Talk's Twitter is in the description as well, so go over, give him a follow. The tomorrow I do not have an orientation lesson. I just got a text from my instructor saying she had to cancel, so the stream is going to be at noon as usual and go for the full 2 hours tomorrow.
Yay!
So, and Friday, our guest is going to be Brit Gamer Girl, so that will be fun.
That will be some fun. I'm looking forward to that.
So I hope everyone has a great rest of their day and stay safe out there.
Don't
And we'll
forget the Star Trek stream
and
on
oh yes,
Saturday.
yes,
Super stream.
and the super stream, part 1 of the super stream, because there's going to be so much to talk about. We're going to have to divide this up into a few streams.
Absolutely.
But part 1 of the super Deep Space Nine stream will be on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. I hope everyone will come and watch. And of course, the blind and the special will be on Sunday at 10. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Have an amazing day. See you on Minions tonight, and see you tomorrow for another coffee stream. Bye, guys.
Take care, everybody.